Hello YouTubers, this is Eric from Eazy Computer Solutions. So I'm going to do the ultimate benchmark test. I got the new boy in town. I got the ZTE ZMAX Pro that just came out this week with the 617 processor in it. I'm putting it against the Honor 5X with the 616 processor in it. And I just pulled out some other devices. I got the Nexus 6 here with the 805 processor. Okay, then I got the Moto X Pure Edition 2015, guys, with the 808 processor. So today, guys, I'm going to do 4 benchmark tests. I'm going to do 3D Mark, Antutu benchmark, Geekbench 3, and GFX benchmark. So y'all guys can see the scores of all devices. And we're going to do some app openings and stuff like that. So let's have some fun. Get your popcorn ready and follow me on this journey. Let's go. Hello guys, this is Eric again with another video. So let's go on and start the benchmark test, all right? So we're gonna pull up 3D Mark on all devices, guys, and we're gonna start 3D Mark test right now. All right, guys, so the scores is in, and surprisingly, not as far as the 616 processor or the 617 processor, but for the 808 processor to the 805 processor, and I've been seeing this a lot on the 808 processor with very, very low benchmark scores. So we got, let's go on and call out the scores here. We got our next Moto X Pure Edition with a score of 998. The Nexus 6 has a 1325. Again, a piece of a phone. We have the Honor 5X at 364, and we have the ZTE ZMAX Pro at 380. So the 617 processor beat the 616 processor, all right? So we're gonna close our apps, and we're gonna run Antutu benchmark tests. So as this test running, I'm looking at the Motorola X Pure Edition is running it pretty smooth. The Nexus 6P is also running it smooth. When we get down to the Honor 5X, you do see the choppiness, and when you see the ZMAX Pro, you see a little choppiness. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead on and stop this benchmark test because really and truly, I'm really focusing on the 616 and 617 processor. The Antutu benchmark here is running version 6.2, and this benchmark test is running version 6.1. But we just only concerned about these two devices here. We already know the benchmark scores here. If you do want to see the benchmark test of these two devices, the Moto X and the Nexus 6P, check out an earlier video. I do have these devices all benchmarked. Now, we do have the ZTE phone here at a score of 3.3 frames per second on the 3D maroon test, and 4 frames per second on the 3D garden test. And on the Honor 5X, you have 3 frames per second on the maroon test, and you have 4 frames per second on the 3D garden test. So I want to put that in perspective, that the 617 processor does outperforms the 616 processor in this aspect. All right, and we're going to go to our next benchmark test, which is Geekbench 3. Right, guys, so Geekbench 3, guys, again is showing some of the specs of the device, the ZTE, which has the Android 6.0.1 with the Adreno 405 and 2 gigs of RAM. Also with the Huawei Honor 5X, again 2 gigs of RAM, 405 processor, Adreno. Then when you get into the Nexus 6, you do have the 420 with 3 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 805. Then when you get to the Moto X Pure Edition, you got the 808 processor, Adreno 418, and you do have 3 gigs of RAM. So we could go down and run the benchmark test. Boom. All right, guys, so the Geekbench scores is in, and let's go ahead and go over the scores prospectively. We got the Moto X Pure Edition. Single core scores 1254, multi-core scores 3426. We do have the Nexus 6 scores of 1071 and 3268 respectively. And we have the Honor 5X, single core 652, multi-core 2815, and this new ZTE phone here with a score of 733 and 2857. Again, this device beating the Honor 5X. Again, guys, this device costs $99. This device will cost you about $150 to $199 respectively. We're gonna do our last benchmark test, which is GFX benchmark. So let's run the test. So on this GFX benchmark, I only go do the T-Rex test. So I'm going to go down and run the T-Rex test on all devices, and I'm going to hit start. Booyah. So here we go. Our last and final test. The scores are in. GFX benchmark. Again, we go have the Motorola X Pure Edition, the 26 frames per second. All right, we go Nexus 6, 30 frames per second. The Honor 5X, 15 frames per second. As we can get a close up, that's 15 frames per second. And the ZTE ZMAX Pro, also 15 frames per second. So with this chipset, you're going to get about 15 frames per second on all the benchmark tests when you're doing this. All right, so we ran all 4 benchmark tests. Obviously, I just wanted to use these 2 devices to kind of gauge. But really, the Honor 5X and the ZMAX Pro, you got almost the same chipset. Of course, the 617 and 616 kind of clocked a little different. So better performance here. But let's go to move these out the way because obviously the apps are open faster here. So let's do a little performance here with both devices. We're going to open up some apps and I'll go from there. So we're going to open up YouTube. Boom. See which device opens the fastest. Right now, YouTube opened up faster on the ZMAX Pro versus the Honor 5X. All right. So let's go ahead and open up some social media and find Facebook. So let's go ahead and open up Facebook. Boom. All right, Facebook opened up really faster on the ZMAX Pro. So we're going to close that out. So let's go ahead and open up our last and final app, and that's going to be Mail. Boom. All right, so Mail opened up faster here. All right, guys, but overall, the $99 ZMAX Pro opened up apps faster than the Honor 5X. I just want to kind of give you guys a video of the benchmark test between all devices, kind of give you a gauge of the 808, the 805 processor. You know, those processor high end, obviously the apps are going to open up faster on those devices, but not by much. I like the ZTE ZMAX Pro, guys. The device just came out. It's performing very well. 1080p screen. Both devices got 1080p screens. Both devices got 2 gigs of RAM. But that's about it, guys. This is Eric from Eazy Computer Solutions. See you guys on the next video. Peace.